You know what is the most painful feeling in the world? It is not failure, it is not rejection. It is working harder than anyone around you, giving everything you have got, every single day, and still nothing. Complete silence, like you do not even exist. Jimmy Donaldson lived inside that silence for 6 years, and what he did during those 6 years is the reason the entire world knows his name today. Jimmy grew up in a small town called Greenville in North Carolina. Nothing special about it. No famous people came from there, no big opportunities waiting around the corner, just a normal small town with normal small town dreams. But Jimmy was not a normal kid, not because he was smarter than everyone, not because he was more talented, but because from a very young age, he had this feeling inside him that he simply could not explain to anyone.
See this? Compare these numbers to whatever I have when you watch this.
Dude, I really hope I have 1 million subs by now. Please, future me, please. What am I doing?
This feeling that he was supposed to do something big, something that mattered, something that the whole world would eventually see. The problem was, nobody else could see it yet. He was 13 years old when he started his YouTube channel, just a kid with a cheap camera and zero idea what he was doing. His first video went up, he sat there and waited, refreshed the page, waited some more. You know how many views it got? Barely enough to count on 2 hands, and most of those views were probably him. But here is what Jimmy did that most people would never do. He uploaded another one, then another, week after week, month after month, videos that nobody watched, comments, sections that were completely empty, a subscriber count that barely moved, and still, he showed up. Every single day, he showed up. Now I need to stop here for a second, because I need you to really understand what was happening in Jimmy's life at this time. Because it was not just YouTube that was hard. Everything was hard. His family did not have a lot of money. And I do not mean they were tight on cash. I mean the kind of tight where you feel it in the house, where certain conversations do not happen because everyone already knows the answer, where you learn very early that nothing in life is guaranteed. And on top of that, Jimmy's body was fighting him. He has a condition called Crohn's disease. And if you do not know what that is, imagine waking up some mornings and your own body is at war with itself. Unpredictable pain. Days where getting out of bed feels impossible. Days where eating the wrong thing sends you into agony. Days where your body is screaming at you to stop. And Jimmy would sit in that pain, in that small room, in that small town, with that cheap camera, and he would record another video. Because what else was he going to do? Giving up was not something his brain even understood. School was not an escape either. He was not the popular kid. He did not have a big group of friends rallying behind him. He was just quiet, the kind of kid you would walk past in the hallway and not really notice. And while other kids were living their teenage years, going to parties, hanging out, doing all the things teenagers do, Jimmy was in his room, studying YouTube channels for hours, analyzing why certain videos worked, why certain thumbnails got clicked, why certain titles stopped people from scrolling. His mom would knock on his door at 2 in the morning, and he would still be awake, still watching, still learning, still obsessing. She would tell him, "Jimmy, please go to sleep," and he would say, "Just 5 more minutes, Mom." That 5 more minutes lasted 6 years. 6 years. I keep coming back to that number because I need you to feel it. 6 years of uploading videos that went nowhere. 6 years of his friends asking him when he was going to get a real job. 6 years of the internet completely ignoring him. 6 years of a body that was fighting against him. 6 years of a bank account that had no right to support a dream this big. Did Jimmy Donaldson sit down and say, maybe this is not for me? Because here is something he understood that most people never figure out. The people who make it are not the most talented ones. They are not the luckiest ones. They are not the ones with the best equipment or the best connections or the best start in life. The people who make it are simply the ones who refuse to stop long enough to fail permanently. That is it. That is the whole game. And then something happened. Not overnight, not in some magical moment where everything suddenly clicked, but slowly, quietly, like water wearing down a rock. 6 years of daily work had made Jimmy Donaldson genuinely exceptional at what he did, and the internet started to notice. Views went from hundreds to thousands, then from thousands to millions, then from millions to something nobody had ever seen before. People could not stop watching, not because his videos were flashy, but because you could feel something in them. You could feel the 6 years. You could feel the pain and the patience and the obsession of a person who had waited longer than anyone thought was reasonable and had refused to give up anyway. Today, MrBeast has over 350 million subscribers. He is the most watched individual creator in the history of the internet. But here is the part of his story that I think matters more than any of that. What did he do with all of it? He fed thousands of families who had not eaten properly in days. He paid for surgeries that gave blind people their sight back. He built schools in places where children were learning outside on the dirt ground. He gave away houses to people who had nowhere to sleep. He planted millions of trees. He looked at everything the world had given him, and he gave it right back. The kid who grew up knowing what it felt like to have nothing made absolutely sure that other people would not have to feel that way. And I think about Jimmy's story a lot. Like, genuinely, I think about it when I am having a bad day. When something I am working on is not going the way I hoped. When the voice in my head starts saying maybe this is just not going to work. I think about a 13-year-old kid in a small town uploading videos to an empty internet. Sick, broke, invisible, and still going. Still going, still going. Because here is the truth that nobody wants to admit. Most of us quit too early. Not because we are not talented enough. Not because the dream is too big, but because we expect results before we have earned them. We want the 350 million subscribers without the 6 years of silence first. We want the success without being willing to look stupid for long enough to deserve it. Jimmy was willing to look stupid for 6 whole years, and that willingness, that stubborn, beautiful, ridiculous willingness, is what built everything. So let me ask you something before this video ends. What have you given up on too early? What dream did you quietly let die because it was taking too long? What is the thing you stopped doing because nobody was watching yet? Because Jimmy uploaded for 6 years before anyone watched. 6 years of silence before the world could not look away. Your silence might be shorter, it might be longer. But here is what I know for sure. It only ends one way. If you keep going. Subscribe to Peak Mind. Because this channel exists for the people who are still in their silence, still in their 6 years, still showing up when nobody is watching. We see you, and we know exactly where you are headed. Keep going.